Okay, so welcome to our session on mindfulness, to enjoy the here and now. This is part of our series of seminars on well-being, and this is the month of mental health, and we have Daniela here who put together a brilliant program, and I will ask her later to mention some of the events that they have organized for mental health. And so this training on mindfulness is going to be an interactive session to practically guide us on how to cope with stressful situations. And I have the pleasure of welcoming here our male speaker and women's ally, Mr. Patrick Leloux. He is, welcome Patrick, nice to have you here with us.
Thank you very much.
He is a psychologist. Well, you studied psychology and philosophy, and you're a trainer of mindfulness. You're a very practical person, and you are the dear husband of a WIN member. So that makes you very, very special. And so with this brief introduction, I would like to immediately hand over to you, Patrick, to guide us through this interactive session. Thank you, Patrick.
Well, thanks for having me. Thank you, Marilena. It's an honor. What I wanted to do with you is follow a little program in mindfulness to talk a little about mindfulness and to practice some exercises. And maybe we can discuss what you experienced during those exercises. That's about my program, and maybe we can learn from ourselves and from each other. It's a little bit big group to introduce each and every one. I am Patrick Leloux. I live in the Netherlands, close to Amsterdam, and my wife is a colleague of yours at VAO in Rome. That's how I got connected to Marilena. What I wanted to start with you with is maybe if there's anybody who has some expectancies of today or has heard anything about mindfulness or wants to express their expectations, maybe. Anyone?
Oh, thank you, Patrick. And what I wanted to mention is if you feel more comfortable that I pause the recording while you're speaking because you want to say something and you don't want it to be recorded, that's fine too. I can pause and then continue with the recording or stop the recording altogether. Just tell me and we can play it by ear.
Thank you. Has anybody had ever some previous experience with mindfulness or meditation? Yes, Susanna?
Yeah, just briefly, I am actually a health and wellness coach and a nutritionist. And I do practice a lot for myself and with my clients with mindfulness and just meditation. I meditate 20 minutes every day. Nice. And I'm also in a Shambhala group in Thailand, which is Tibetan meditation, Buddhism meditation. So I'm familiar with it, but I'm looking forward to always learning more and just participating whenever I can in something like this.
Nice, but you're quite experienced, I hear.
I know stuff about it, yeah. I'm not an expert, but I know stuff about it.
Yeah, well, maybe you learn something new or maybe not.
But always learn something new, I'm pretty sure I will.
And it's always interesting to notice what happens to you when you hear something that you already know. So that's also a thing you can pay attention to.
Yes, thank you.
Anybody else?
Anna has her hand raised.
Yeah, hi Patrick and all. I'm Anna. Same as Susan, I have a long practice of daily meditation, which for me has been life-changing, and it's a practice that always evolves and changes as I evolve. and change. And I am also, maybe similar to you, Susanna, I'm a feminine power coach and facilitator. And I also very active in online groups, whereas across the world where we experiment with different ways of coming together, mindfulness, meditation, visualizations, and always curious about new ways to expand my awareness practice. So excited about what you're sharing today.
Nice. Thank you. So it was a life-changing event, you said, to lower the expectations for the participants.
No, really, yeah.
Thanks. Anybody else or questions or no? And I can just explain a little bit. The definition of mindfulness is said to be paying attention to everything that you experience here and now without judgment. And that's the definition of Jon Kabat-Zinn, who started mindfulness. He started it in the late 70s, but of course it has a very long history. It has it stems from a Buddhistic tradition that's about 2,500 years old. And on the other hand, it has some food in the cognitive psychology. And from the Buddhist tradition, there's mainly the Vipassana tradition. And that's a kind of Buddhism that tries to look at what really is. We are very prone to coloring everything we experience. We tend to say something is good or bad or in between, something is nice or not nice. This food tastes good or it is not good, or well, actually things are what they are without all those labels. Those labels that come from us, from ourselves, and not from outside. And Vipassana is very good in laying that out and make you experience that what really is. And in cognitive psychology, we are investigating what we think and how our thinking is influencing ourselves. And Jon Kabat-Zinn combined those two in the late 70s to mindfulness, and he started, from origin, he's a neurologist, and he was a Buddhist practitioner on his own, and he started in a pain clinic with people who are suffering from, how do you call it? Ongoing pain, and they were untreatable. They were beyond treatment. And then he started to meditate with those people, and then the funny thing is their pain didn't go away or became less, but their quality of life improved very much. So with a different approach to their pain, they could improve their quality of life. And then he went, this mindfulness spread it out also to people with depression. It got some very good results. And well, after a few decades, it became kind of a miracle treatment to almost everything. And now, yeah, it has some benefits, I guess, can have benefits for everybody. Yeah, so what I wanted to do to you today is do some exercises. And those are little meditative exercises. And then we discuss what we experience. But for those exercises, maybe it's convenient if you have your phone off. So we have some experienced meditators with us, but if you start to meditate and your phone starts to ring, maybe that's not the best way to start. And it's nice if you're sitting comfortably in a comfortable room, warm enough, and you won't get disturbed very often or very soon. So there's an old Buddhist saying, talking about food doesn't fill the stomach. And that's with mindfulness the same. We can talk a lot about it, but you have to feel and experience what it is to know what's going on. So let's start with the first exercise, and it's a short sitting exercise where we focus on the breathing. And if you're sitting on a chair like me, I want to ask you to put yourself straight up. Like the top of your head is the highest point of your body. And if you're sitting, don't lean to the back of the chair, but be straight up, not too tight, but just active and attentive. And you pull in your chin a little bit. And if you're ready for it, and it feels good, you can just close your eyes. And for the first moment, I just want to ask you, how does it feel to sit like this? What do you notice of your posture? If you go to your body from the top of your head, skull, your face, your neck, loosely between your shoulders relaxed, armpits a little bit free, your arms loose, your back is straight but not tight, not tense, just up front. Your legs relaxed, your feet flat on the floor. What do you notice of this posture? How does it feel to sit like this? And maybe you can pay some attention to those parts of your bottom that touch the chair. How does it feel there? What do you notice? And where your feet touch the floor, maybe you can feel the pressure of your feet to the floor, or the pressure of the floor to your feet. How does it feel? And where exactly do you feel that? Just investigate those feelings. And then pay a little attention to those parts of the body that touch the body itself. Maybe your legs to your arms or your hands to each other. Your hands on your knees, wherever it may be. Just take a short moment to feel how it feels right now. And then when you get a good notion of how you're sitting right now, bring the awareness to the breathing. And just follow the breathing, how the air flows in and out of your body. And try to pay attention where you feel the breathing. What do you notice when you're breathing? Maybe you feel the air flowing in through the nostrils, go down the throat, feeling the lungs, the movement in the chest, the belly. And if you breathe out, it's the other way around. Where do you feel the breathing the most at this very moment? And how does that feel? How big, for example, is that place where you feel it? And how would you describe that feeling? Just breathing in and out. You don't have to breathe slower or deeper. But if that happens, that's okay too. Just notice any bodily sensation that you can notice while you're breathing. What do you feel when you breathe in? And what do you feel when you breathe out? When you notice that you're thinking, that you're not paying attention to the breathing again, that your mind wandered off, Just notice that. And have a look at what you're thinking about. And then gently bring back the attention to the breathing. How does it feel to breathe in? Maybe you feel the air touching part just beneath the nose before it flows in. Go down the throat, and then the chest and the belly. And then breathe out the other way around. Maybe you can notice that the air is a little bit warmer than when it came in. Maybe you don't see that at all. You don't feel that at all. There's no right or wrong. It's just you and what you experience right here, right now. But just be as curious as you can be. Investigate as much as you can. And sooner or later, you'll find that you are away in your thinking again and taken away by your thoughts. And every time that happens, just notice that you're not with your breathing. Maybe you can see what you are thinking about. And then kindly bring your attention back to the breathing. What can you feel when you breathe in? And how does that feel? And where exactly do you feel that? And how does it feel exactly? Try to be precise. And what do you feel when you breathe out? Just investigate. Just follow that breathing and all the bodily sensations that you can discover. Time and time again, you'll notice you are thinking. It's just what the mind does. Just notice what you're thinking about. Maybe you can see how you get there. Follow the trail back, so to say. And then gently bring the attention back to the breathing. As you breathe in, what are these sensations? Where do you notice them? What part of the body is having sensations in this very moment? And the same when you breathe out. And the shrinking of the belly within the chest. And what do you feel when you exhale? And where are you now? There's always the breath to put your attention to. Always available for you. And how does it feel? How does it feel precisely? And where exactly do you feel it? And then I want to ask you to bring the attention to the whole of your body again. Will your posture again? Are you sitting here? What does the rest of the body have to tell you at this very moment? And then after a few very conscious breaths, I want to exercise and make an end to this exercise. And if you're ready, you can gently open your eyes again. So, that was the first exercise. Breathing in awareness. How was this? Who wants to say anything about this exercise? Or ask?
Elena, welcome, please.
I can go ahead. Well, first of all, thanks so much. This was very, very useful. I think what most touched me was when you said, like, so we are breathing and there's no right or wrong, right? Like you just focus on yourself and on your body. And I think this was really like touch for me because, I feel like, there's always like, I always try to think, okay, so this, I should do this now and do that now, right? And so it was just like really, really liberating, like, okay, for this moment, there's no need, like, just forget all that, like, you were right for someone, wrong for someone, you said this right. No, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just, that was very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, there's a Buddhist saying that says, at this very moment, there is no problem. And it's always true. Yeah. But can I ask you, what you said it touched something, or can you describe a little bit what it touched? What it was that it touched?
My mind, my heart. I was just like, what I said, it was just liberating, like that for this very moment, I was allowed, to not think about what is right or wrong, and what I do, what I say, how I move, like, and not like, and it's liberating from myself and from my own, expectations that I put on myself. So that was that what touched.
And how did you have a feeling coming with this thought? Or this?
Yes, relief.
Relief. And how does relief feel?
Nice.
Liberating. And can you point it out in your body where you feel relief? Was there a bodily sensation?
No, I wasn't that mindful. No, not this time. Maybe the next one.
Yeah. Well, we're at the beginning, so thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
Anybody
Thank you,
else?
Elena, for sharing your experience. Draga has her hand raised. Draga.
Hi, Draga.
Thank you. Hello. I almost fell asleep. I was both awake and kind of like asleep.
And how was that for you?
Relaxing and nice.
Yeah.
I had problems sleeping this night, so for me it was like catching up with what I was missing during the night.
You're tired. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, that happens sometimes, and especially when you're tired, of course. Yeah. Especially
like
when you
close. Like a borderline feeling. I was neither sleeping nor awake.
Yeah. And how was that for you?
Nice. Very nice.
Just nice. Okay, good. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else would like to share the experience? If not, I will go next.
Yes, sure.
If I may.
Question, yeah.
For me, first, when you were saying how does it feel to sit like that, it felt a bit uncomfortable no, because normally I'm always leaning. So to sit straight and not lean was a bit uncomfortable. And then when I was focusing on the breathing, so I come from a very intense day today, okay? Like a hamster on the wheel. And so when I was trying to focus on the breathing, I could basically hear my heart as it was bumping. It was bumping so strongly, so hard, that I could really hear it. And so then I was focusing on that and trying to bring it down to relax, basically. And so I was hearing you and not hearing you, in the sense that I was listening to your indications, but I was also trying to focus on my breathing and on my sensations. So it was a little bit, you know, in the background, what you were saying.
Yeah, and you try to bring your heart rate down.
Yeah. But it was good.
Okay, good. But in mindfulness, we don't try to change anything. We don't just try to notice what there is. Yeah. Because, if there's a feeling or something, the feeling is already there. So trying to change it, especially when it's a bad feeling, makes it only worse, because the feeling is already there. So in mindfulness, you just try to pay attention to that what is, to notice what is, without any labeling or without putting it in a right or a wrong way, with non-judgment. And that gives some relief often, and some peace. Thank you, Marilena. Sonia.
Hi, greetings from Stockholm. Thanks, it was really great. I felt that I anchored myself at the present, but I had just one question. I didn't know what should I do with my hands, because everywhere was quite stable, but maybe I didn't listen from the beginning. My feet are on the floor and my head is quite stable, but I didn't know what should I do with my hands, on the table or on laps.
Well, you bet. There's no. Also here, there's no right or wrong, but it's nice to put them on your laps, or just make a little bowl of your hands and put them in your between your legs. Yeah. And there's no there's a lot of different directions from all sorts of different styles of meditation. Some say you have to keep your eyes closed. Some say you have to keep your eyes open. Some say you have to face the wall. Some say you have to sit like this. You have to have your hands like this. You have to your legs like this. You have to. So, in my opinion, there's a lot of different methods, and there's no right or wrong. Only there's one big benefit from when you take direction, is that you never have to think about them again. So if you just make sure for yourself, I'm going to sit in this position, and you do that all the time, then you don't have to worry about it anymore. Just one time.
Great.
Patrick, we have our founder of the Women's Informal Network, Chitra. She's connected but not visible because she's walking. But she wrote in the chat that she was doing a walking mindfulness meditation and found that she could see the beauty of the world. I wanted to share this with you.
Wow.
Very nice.
Thank you. Yeah, nice to hear. Yeah, it is beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any other comments or questions? Or shall we move on with the next exercise? Nobody? Okay. The next exercise is a body scan, and you can do it either sitting down or lying down, whatever you prefer. But if you're going to lie down, maybe it's nice to make sure you're comfortable and warm. But you can also do it from the chair. So just like before, I want to ask you to prepare. Oh, I see an empty chair, so maybe someone is trying to lie down. Whenever you're ready. We start with paying attention to our posture again. Tip of the head is the highest part. Chin a little bit in. Neck long, but not too long. The back is straight, but not tight. Your legs relaxed, your arms are relaxed in your lap. Or your hands on your knees. You take an active position without being tense or too active. It's kind of an in-between position. And with your posture, you try to express an attitude of openness to anything you can experience. Just welcome anything that comes along. And pay some attention to the breathing. Just follow the breathing. Feel what you can feel. How does the breath feel in the body? And where exactly do you feel it? How does it feel to breathe at this very moment? And then I want to ask you to put your attention to your left foot. And we start with the toes of the left foot. And how do they feel at this very moment? Maybe you can wiggle them a little to help to localize them. And just try to explore the feeling of the toes of your left foot. Maybe you feel some pressure from a sock or a shoe, so warm or cold. Anything else or nothing at all? There's no right or wrong. Just what you can feel at this very moment in the toes of the left foot. Then you shift your attention a little bit to the sole of your left foot. What do you feel over there right now? Maybe you feel some pressure from the floor. Or if you're lying down, some air flowing around, warm or cold. Whatever it is, investigate it. And sooner or later, you will notice that the mind has wandered off, that you're thinking. You're not a bad person for noticing that. That's just what the mind does. It happens. That's how it works. But whenever you notice that, just kindly bring it back to the sole of your left foot and what you can feel over there. Then we shift to the top of the left foot. Can you notice over there? And if you notice nothing, that's okay too. Just take a moment to investigate the feeling of the top of your left foot. How does that feel and how does it feel exactly? Then we go to the left heel. Maybe you feel some pressure over there. Take a moment to investigate. How does the left heel feel at this very moment? What can you notice? And then the ankle. How does your left ankle feel? Inner side and the outer side. Just bring the whole of your attention to the left ankle. And what can you notice over there? How does that ankle feel at this very moment? And then we bring the attention to the whole left foot, from your ankle to your toes. Feel how that foot feels in its whole, the connection between all those parts we just experienced. All those muscles and bones together form that left foot. How does that left foot feel right now? What can you experience when you feel your left foot? And every time you notice you are thinking again, you are not feeling your left foot, kindly be aware. Just take a moment to see what you're thinking about. And then bring the attention back to the left foot. And then we go up a little bit to the left lower part, the left leg. Can you feel over there? And if you feel nothing, it's okay, but how does nothing feel? Can you explore that a little bit? Just pay attention to the lower left part of your left leg. And then your left knee. Can you feel anything in your left knee? Back side and the front side and everything in between. What does the left knee have to tell you at this moment? And how does it feel? And how does it feel exactly? And where exactly do you feel that? And then we go to the upper part of the left leg. There's big bones and big muscles inside. What can you experience when you experience upper part of your left leg? Just take a moment to feel that part of your body. And then the whole left leg, from the upper part to the toes. Feel the connection between all the parts. The wholeness, the left leg. And how does that left leg feel right now? What do you feel when you feel your left leg? Just experience and investigate. And then we go to the right side. Again with the toes, the right foot now. Can you feel all 5 of them? And what do you feel when you feel your right toes? Just explore And be curious. And then the sole of the right foot. What can you notice when you feel the sole of your right foot? And time again, when you wandered off, you notice you're thinking of something. Just notice it and be kind to yourself. You did nothing wrong. You did something good by noticing that you're thinking again. And then gently bring the attention back to the right heel. How does the right heel feel this very moment? What do you feel when you feel your right heel? Just explore. Then the top of your right foot. How does the top of your right foot feel? Just be curious. Investigate. And then the right ankle. What can you experience over there? Inner side and the outer side. And then the whole of the foot, from the ankle, the toes. Feel how everything is connected in between. And it all together makes your right foot. And then again, what do you feel when you feel your right foot? How does your right foot feel at this very moment? Just explore, investigate. When you investigate it good enough, you go a little bit up, the lower part of your right leg, under your knee. How does that part feel? Can you feel the pressure of some clothes? Temperature maybe? Some other stuff? Things from inside or things from outside? How exactly does it feel? And then we move up to the knee. How does the knee feel right now? Just explore. Then the upper part of the right leg, above the knee. How's it feeling right now? Just investigate. Be as curious as you can be of any aspect that you can discover. The feeling of the upper part of the right leg. And then the whole of the right leg, all the way from the upper part to your toes. You feel the unity, the right leg, the wholeness. And how exactly does that feel? How does the right leg feel? And every time you notice you're thinking, no, not with the right leg at this very moment, just notice what you're thinking about. Maybe you can follow the trail back a little bit, see how you got there, and then kindly bring the attention back. Your bottom, in this case, you feel some pressure there, the floor of the chair. How does it feel exactly? And where exactly do you feel that? Your hips, left hip, the right hip, pubic area, the lower back. Can you feel in your lower back? Some tension or some pressure, maybe nothing at all. Whatever it is, investigate. The upper part of your back, can you feel over there? Just be curious and explore. Go to the front, to the belly. What can you experience in the belly right now? Maybe you feel the movement of the breathing. Where exactly do you feel that? How does it feel? Maybe you feel some other things. Whatever it is, explore. The chest. Feel some movement over there too. Take a moment to feel how it feels. And anything that you can notice. We go to the left hand, starting with the fingers of the left hand. Can you feel all 5 of them? How do they feel? Just be curious and explore whatever there is to feel. And the inside of the left hand, palm of your hand. What is there to experience? Just investigate. Back side of the hand. Feel over there. Your wrist. Just investigate anything that you can feel in your wrist. If anything. And then the whole of the hand, left hand. And the connections, unity of that hand. And how does that hand feel in its whole? What do you notice when you feel your left hand? And how does it feel exactly? In the left lower arm. What can you notice over there? Time and time again, when you wandered off and thinking again, Just notice what you're thinking about. And gently bring the attention back. The left elbow. How does your left elbow feel? And try to be precise. Try to be as specific as you can. Upper part of your left arm. Can you feel anything over there right now? And what exactly do you feel? And then the left shoulder. What do you feel when you feel your left shoulder? Just be curious. Just explore. Just investigate. And then the whole left arm from the shoulder, the tip of your fingers. Feel the connection between all those parts, the unity, the wholeness. And feel the whole of the left arm. And what do you notice then? And we'll go to the right side, starting with the fingers of your right hand. And you feel all 5 of them. And what do you notice when you feel your fingers, your right hand? The palm of your hand. What can you experience there? If anything. And the back of your hand. How does the back of your hand feel right now? And then the right wrist. Can you notice anything in your right wrist? And if yes, what is it that you feel? And how does it feel exactly? And the whole right hand, wrist, to the tip of your fingers, feel the whole of that hand connection. And how does that hand feel as a whole? Just investigate. And every time you're thinking, that you notice that you're thinking again, be nice to yourself. Maybe you can compliment yourself that you woke up again. And then bring your attention to there where you want it to be. That's the lower part of your right arm. And investigate anything there is to feel in that part of the right arm. And then the right elbow. Can you discover over there in terms of physical feelings? With sensations. The upper part of the right arm. How does that feel? Then we move to the shoulder. What do you experience when you feel your right shoulder right now? And then feel the connection of all those parts, the unity of the right arm. And what do you experience then? What are the physical sensations of the right arm? Just take a moment to feel the right arm. And we move up to the neck. Can you experience over there? Maybe some tension. Well, how does it feel? Maybe some warmth or cold, some other stuff. Or nothing at all. And in the throat. How does the throat feel? The back of your head. Lying on the floor, might feel some pressure. Where exactly is that? And how does it feel? Maybe you feel other things or nothing at all. Top of your head. Can you feel over there? On the left side of your head, around your left ear. What can you experience over there? Same for the right side. How does the right side of your head feel? And your face, forehead, area around your eyes, your nose, cheeks, your mouth, your lips, your jaws, chin. Feel those multiple muscles underneath the surface of your face. How does your face feel at this moment? And then the whole of the body, from the tip of your head, tip of your toes and your fingers. You know, everything's connected all together, forms the body. How does the body feel right now? What do you feel when you feel the body? Then bring your attention to the breathing within the body. How the breath is moving the body. And moving inside the body. And when you breathe a few times in awareness, you're gonna end this exercise. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Come sit right up. That was the body scan. Is there anybody who wants to say something about the body scan? It's a very important exercise. Anybody? Daniela, see you wave your hand.
I'm sorry, I'm not able to raise hand on the machines. I
I
figured.
saw you raise your hand.
Yeah, thank you so much for this. This is something that I do a lot in my yoga practice, but I've never associated with meditation before. So this is, I found this very interesting. I was a little bit disoriented at the beginning because I was kind of expecting it to be in my yoga studio, in my other environment and things like that. But I found it actually very, very relaxing. I was very tense. Even from the first one, I noticed I'm having my neck and shoulder was speaking to me. But I found this very, very effective and very, I don't know how I felt like I was going through clouds and just going down, even though I felt ground very much under me. I did feel sort of as I was kind of somewhere higher and just kind of floating. That makes totally no sense, but that's how it felt to me. So thank you for that. It's just an eye opener, something that I do, but I never really connected with meditation. It was always about the body and physical, getting ready sort of for the practice that would come after. So now I'm kind of ready to do my yoga postures. But thank you for that.
Well, I think in yoga, it's used more as a relaxation exercise after the yoga exercises are done, mostly.
Yes, mostly we do that sort of either by itself or very much with restorative yoga practices. But I tend to now, yoga is now my everything, my physical activity, because I don't walk to work and things like that. So now I do different kinds of yoga as well, both physical and kind of mind as well. Because I don't like exercising, so yoga is the only thing that sort of gets me gets me moving.
Yeah. But to go on the point of meditation, in my opinion, is just you give your mind a simple task to be busy with, and then you notice that the mind drifts off, and in that way you learn how the mind is working, and you learn eventually you learn to put that mind where you want it to be, instead of being a subject to the mind. So by practicing those simple exercising and noticing what the mind does, we get more in control of the mind. Because we are very educated in our mind. Our mind is very important to us. And it's almost as if the body is not important at all. And well, I know one thing for sure: when your body stops, then you stop. The mind stops too, because it cannot be there without the body. So we have to take good care of the body to start with, but also listen to the body. And that's the thing we are not used to do. But the body is like a big antenna for how we are doing from moment to moment. It's sending us signals, and we are listening not very well to what the body is trying to tell us. And with this exercise, you can create more awareness of what the body is actually telling you. Yeah. Sonia.
Yeah, I was wondering to know what's the connection between this exercise, the body scanning, and also the pain, because I have a little bit pain on my left leg. So is there any connection that you feel better, or that tickling feeling will make you, because during pregnancy, I had this lumbosacral plexus damage. So I had so much pain on my lower back. Still, I feel it after 2 years, since my son is 2 years. So I'm looking for some solutions, yoga, meditation, or mindfulness, that will really help me to forget about this numbness or pain for a few seconds or few minutes.
Yeah. So, well, mindfulness cannot take away the pain for you, but what it can mean to you is that you develop a different relationship to the pain. Because normally we tend in normal life to push away the things we don't like and to cling on to the things we do like. And that's both, it's not helping us. because we try to push away things that are already there. If you want to get rid of the pain that's already there, yeah, it's already there. So what can you do? There's only one thing that might be helpful, and that's accept it. Because in my experience, things will ask attention as long as necessary. And if you try to push them away, the bad feeling will grow and it will last longer. I sometimes tell the example of this little child who's running around on the playground, and then it trips over and it hurts its knees and it cries and shouts, oh, so much pain. And then 2 minutes later, it runs around as if nothing ever happens. And if we fall over, we pretend nothing happened and we push it away, and that makes the discomfort last longer. And when this little child is totally in this pain, it totally accepts the pain, and then within 2 minutes, it's gone, as if it never existed. I spoke to a friend of mine lately. She's a grown-up woman, and she said she went to a mother's place, and then she went for some errands, and then she tripped over. So she fell on the street, and then she came home to her mother's place, and she said, "Well, I just tripped over on the street." And then the mother said, "Did anybody see you?" So that's our concern. Well, if you let go of all this nonsense, some extra luggage we put on ourselves, it's bad enough that we fall, but do we really have to worry if anybody saw it? So if you can stick to the pain, but to the clean pain, without any judgment about the pain, without any thinking about the pain, but just experience the pain that there is, and without trying to think, oh, it's there, the pain is again, and oh, how much longer is it going to last? Oh, I never get rid of this pain. It makes my life miserable. Just the pure pain, and experience what there is to feel. Just explore how that pain feels. Where exactly do you feel it? How big is that area? Maybe you can try to breathe through that area. So you make some extra space for that pain to be there, to see what happens, without trying to push it away or to make it go away or wish it wasn't there. Yeah, that would be the mindfulness approach to, well, basically to every feeling.
Okay, thanks.
You're very welcome. Anybody else on the body scan? Elena?
Yes. Well, actually, I had something like a revelation at the very, very start of this body scan. You know, like when with the left foot and the toes. Yeah. And you know, I have this thing like I think well, many women and some men in the world have this. Like there's this bone that is not straight, right? Like it goes from the toe and it's kind of. So I have that, you know, since forever, and I even had an operation, a surgery to kind of fix it so that it doesn't get worse. And anyway, and this is something always like that is, I don't know, was bothering me somehow. Yeah. But actually today it was so revealing because I realized, you know, through this like mindfulness exercise that it's the way that this connects me to my mother and my grandmother, from whom I had received, you know, this is genetic, right? And yeah. It was so touching, like really I had tears running down. Yeah. So just to share.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Yeah. And yeah, you can see what you can feel right now is also a connection to the past and maybe to the future. I don't know if you're going to have children or have children. Yeah.
Something that I had conceived as something, you know, that's something that you have to correct, that it's actually something that, you know, you accept as your heritage, right? And like as something that you carry for generations.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Very nice. Yeah. Okay, so that was the body scan. Unless anybody has something more to say or to ask. So then I want to move on to another very important exercise. And it's a very short exercise. And it's kind of a visualization. So I'm going to tell you a little story, and I want you to pay very good attention to what you can notice about yourself. So I want you to make yourself comfortable, and when you're ready, you close your eyes. And just imagine it's a day at the office, and you're just on your way to the next meeting. You're walking through the office on your way, and you're coming close to the room where the meeting is held. And you already hear your colleagues chattering and laughing. And when you approach the room, it's very cozy inside. It's busy with talking and some people laughing. And then when you enter the room, everybody turns silent and looks at you. What do you notice? That was the exercise. So did someone notice anything? Who noticed something?
I guess there is wonder, curiosity, anxiety to understand why everyone stopped laughing and talking.
Yeah.
And then being put at the center of the attention is kind of strange.
Yes. And how did it feel? Did you feel anything physically?
Yeah, like anxiety, like what's happening? Why is it? Yeah, anxiety.
What's happening? Yeah. And how does anxiety feel? Can you feel it in your body?
It's like a feeling of today I don't know, I feel the heart a lot, so it's around the heart basically, like a flimmering.
Flimmering around the heart. Very good, thank you. Anybody else?
Well, I walked into that room carrying a big pile of books. Everybody stopped to look at me, and they were like in awe because I'm walking around with our baby.
Yeah.
And I actually have it here with me. I cannot show it. But this is to honor Marilena as well. I know this is a separate topic, but I can't even show it.
No.
It's because I just
put it closer or more far away.
I don't know how to do it.
Closer to you, to your chest.
Yes, you matter.
Yes, we can see it. Beautiful.
So maybe we shouldn't necessarily think that necessarily a bad thing. Maybe people just you impress them, or they look at the queen walking in or something. I've done that before, even though I know I'm making people uncomfortable, but I see somebody dressed beautifully or something, they just took my breath away, and literally took my breath away. I know that probably the other person may think, oh my God, do I have something wrong? Because we're conditioned to think what's wrong with me. We think that when people stop and look at us is because I have something between my teeth or I don't know, the zit. You know, when you tell people like this big zit, they're like, what? But you're feeling it like a little, like a light flacking here. So I don't know. That was just what came into my mind. Maybe because from the last you relax me and put me in a positive mind. But I was thinking
Very
people
good.
stop because they want to read our book.
Yeah. Very good. Nice. Thank you. And I saw Elena waving a hand.
No, I was actually, sorry, I was just applauding the book. I mean, it's the first time I saw this, so I was like, I'm in awe as well.
Very good.
Congratulations.
Anybody else who experienced something and wants to share? Sonia?
Yeah, I think at the beginning I felt a bit uncomfortable, but I didn't feel anxious. I just got curious, and then, yeah, I think I didn't care really. So it was just being curious that why they have stopped laughing, but it didn't really make me anxious. I think maybe I'm now really in mindfulness vibe and a bit positive, but
Good.
I felt good because sometimes I feel very low confidence, but today I felt okay. Yeah, I mean, just stop laughing. So, but it made me curious.
Yeah. Thank you. Somebody else has to add anything?
So what's the continuation of the story?
Well, this was the end. Yeah. But
It's up to us to continue it, right?
No, but
how do we react? We bang the books on the table. There they are, and we celebrate.
Now the continuing is the lesson we can learn from this, and that's the things that happen when you step into something that you don't expect. Of course, when you step into a cozy room, that you expect anybody to continue being cozy. And when everybody stops talking and turns to you, that's unexpected. And then there's a few things happening. You start to think, and you have an emotion about it. And with that emotion comes some feelings, some bodily sensations. And those can interact with each other and strengthen each other. So when you feel confident, like well, I'm bringing in this new book, and everybody's very impressed by it, then you get some positive feelings, and you get some positive thinking about it, and those can reinforce each other. And if you think, well, they have a bad intentions with me, and I don't know what's going to happen next, I should be afraid and anxious, then those are all thoughts. Those lead to negative emotions and negative feelings, which enforce themselves too. And the basic line, of course, is you don't know what is the matter. Can be anything. In some other group, someone said, "Oh, so nice! I think they're preparing a surprise party for me." So the basic line is whatever you think about the situation doesn't say anything about the situation, but it tells something about you and the state you're in at that moment. Because you don't know what's going on. But even though you don't know what's going on, this train is going to ride with this thinking and feeling, and you bring that to the next situation you go into. And that affects the next situation you step into. So again, it's very important to take into account what you feel at every moment, and ask yourself, what I think, is it really true? Do I know everything? And you always have a partial view on reality. And you can ask yourself, is there any other way to look at this situation? And it doesn't mean that you cannot be right, but you never know for sure. and to stop those train from taking you to, you don't know where to. You can take a moment to stop that train and say, this is the factual situation, and I notice these thoughts are coming up, these feelings come along. I feel this at this very moment. But maybe it has nothing to do with me. So no, we are very, very conditioned and very used to automatic responses. And in mindfulness, you try to be aware of those automatic responses and take a moment between what's happening and your response. And by doing that, you create a certain freedom to not fall into that automatic response anymore. And by doing that, you create more and more freedom of action for yourself. So you might be aware that you tend to react in certain situations, always at a certain moment, at a certain way. And probably it's not always the wisest reaction. And by practicing mindfulness, you can create an opportunity to choose other behavior. And by that, you create more freedom for yourself. It doesn't say your initial reaction is wrong or shouldn't be taken, but when you do it consciously. So very short, but I think very powerful exercise.
I like it. It's not about me.
No.
It's just the situation, right?
It's the situation, yes.
Yeah.
And it's your feeling that says something about you, and your thinking that says something about you. But the situation can mean anything. We just don't know.
Very nice. Thank you, Patrick.
You're very welcome. I have one very short exercise left that is very useful maybe at the office or in the working situations. It's called a 3-minute breathing exercise. It has 3 parts of 1 minute. So you can easily do it when you take a moment at the toilet, or you're standing in front of the coffee machine, or maybe the copier, I don't know. But it is a way to bring you back to the moment, to the here and now, and be aware of the body and how your situation is at the moment. So let's quickly do it. So I see we almost run out of time. So I want you to take a good posture again. Just sit straight up. Close your eyes when you're ready. In the first moment, it's just a minute to take we call it a snapshot of yourself. What is your situation at this moment? Are there any feelings that are very active? Any emotions or any thoughts playing around? Just pay some attention to what they are at this very moment. If it's thoughts, what's on the foreground, and what are you thinking right now? Or if it's emotions, what kind of emotions are there that you should pay attention to? Or any bodily sensations, paying attention, or other things, cold or warm, and pay attention to that. Just take a minute to be aware of your situation right now. And when you get a good sense of how you are right now, you bring your attention to the breathing. Nothing else but breathing and what you feel when you breathe. Just be aware of the bodily sensations when you breathe in. How exactly does it feel to breathe in? What do you feel when you breathe out? And where exactly do you feel that? And how exactly does it feel? Nothing more than the breathing and the bodily sensations that come with the breathing. And then for the last minute, we expand the area of awareness. Feel how the breathing is doing its thing within the bigger mass of the body. And what else can you experience from the body? What do you notice from the body as a whole? Maybe we can even broaden the attention a little. What do you notice from the area around you? The room that you're in? And just expand the awareness from the breathing to the body and beyond. And then we gently make an end to this exercise. That's the 3-minute breathing exercise. And I advise you to do that at least 3 times a day. So I see it's 7:30. So this was my program for you. Thanks for your attention. And if anybody's interested, I'm having a full mindfulness course, especially for you, starting from the 4th of November. And maybe I should forward the details to Marilena, so you can spread it out. And I hope to see you there, of course. And thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Patrick. Please, let's have a round of applause for Patrick for guiding us through these exercises. I believe we will be able to practice some of these during the day if we think about it. And I guess it becomes easier the more one practices, right?
Definitely, yes. Now we have taught ourselves our behavior in decades, and if we want to change that, it needs effort and time. That's
exactly.
True.
Yeah.
But
so please do send along the information about your course.
Yes,
and I'll be happy to share it with the network. And thank you so much again. And also thank you to Toko for having brought us together. That was very nice.
Yes, thank you.
Daniela, I would like to give the floor to you if you want to briefly talk about the World Mental Health Month and the activities that you're organizing.
Sure. So World Mental Health Day is on 10th of October every year. But last year we started doing a World Mental Health Month. And of course, this year we couldn't do anything less, but to at least do what we did last year. So basically there is each of the weeks we have a event which is open to everybody. Last week we had one, but there's a recording which will be on our website while I'm sharing here. So on Tuesday, is it Tuesday next week? Yeah, it's Tuesday. There will be an event basically about conversation with the LGBTIQ plus personnel together with the UN Globe. Then on the 20th of October, we will have a mental health and racial discrimination together with the anti-racism task force. And then the last event will be on the 27th of October, which is supporting personnel with a mental health condition, where we actually will be having people on the panel who are actually willing to talk about what they've gone through. And all of this is aimed with opening the conversations, trying to reduce stigma and discrimination, which is still going on, and to just kind of find ways to involve more and more people. So this time, actually, we partnered with many different organizations. So we have panel members from all over, including some senior leaders. One other thing is that we just launched our new website. So what you're seeing now will be a new layout where it's a little bit easier, because we had one little rudimentary page. We were kind of hanging in the few resources we had, but now a year or so later, we actually have quite a lot to share. So we invested some time to make it a little bit more user-friendly. And the last piece of good news is that the new online learning course for leaders and managers on mental health has been launched. So this is something that we think education is critical. And a lot of our stresses and stressors come from our workplaces, let's face it. And most of us as managers are not equipped to deal with some of these things. So this is sort of the little bit of that. And there will be a meditation session by UN Geneva next week on the 8th. I'm going to drop that in the chat as well. There's a passcode, but all you need to do is just put that in and it's open to everybody. And I don't know, Marilena, if it's easier for you to share this in a different way. I'm happy to make it available in a way that you can share it more easily, maybe than the chat, as you like. And
yes, well, definitely. I think it would be worth sharing with the whole network in one of our updates, so that people are aware of these events and how to connect. So we can liaise on that. And last but not least, on this call, we have 3 of the contributing authors of our book, the book that Daniela was showing, which is not really the book because the book has not come out yet.
In my world, it's so real, I can hold it.
Daniela is cheating a little bit. So I'm going to organize a big launch event for the 12th of November. This is the day when the book will be actually officially launched, and when also we as authors will be able to finally read the other the other chapters. We are 20 women from all over the world and 20 women leaders who have each one written one chapter of about 3,000 words. And it's an autobiographical chapter. And so you will be all invited to attend our big launch event on the 12th of November, which is a Friday at lunchtime. So you will get the invitation and the link to buy our book to make sure that as many people as possible get inspired by it. So with this, I would like to again express sincere thanks to Patrick. Also from the chat, I can see we have lost a couple of people who had to go to other meetings or to other things, but they expressed a lot of gratitude for the exercises that you shared with us and the time you shared with us. And to all of you, thank you for being so open and to sharing your feelings, your emotions that emerged from the exercises. And so let's see if we can continue and maybe have another session, or someone will sign up to the course that Patrick is going to offer. So with this, I would like to thank you very much and close the meeting. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.